Well, it definitely seems like we make more shots at home, and I think that's, there's probably a lot of factors that go into that. But I told them before the game that our experience level, if we moved bodies and we moved the ball like we can, that we would get really good shots based on how much more experience we have than they have, particularly in the backcourt. And I think that was ultimately played out over the game. I mean, early we were a little sloppy with the ball, and their defense was more on point. But as the game kind of got further along, I felt like throwing the ball ahead and just our movement created a lot of open shots. And we, unfortunately, Marissa made a lot of them, and we did a better job taking care of the ball. We only ended up with 12 turnovers. So did a good job on Shepherd. Not great, but I thought, especially the first half, I thought we did. We really pushed her right, and then she hurt us more in the post in the second half. But by that time, we were sitting in pretty good shape. So it's a good win, for us, and we need to get one more before the holiday break.
Yeah, I definitely did. Definitely, I felt a lot more aggressive and ready and willing to shoot. But then my movement promoted other movement, and they had to fly two at one person, so the extra pass was always there. So it worked pretty well.
At what point did it kind of click? Okay, it's my day. Maybe keep throwing them up in that.
Probably when I didn't question whether I should shoot it or not. So after a couple fell, and I just felt like it's weird because I've been not very confident about my 3-point shot. So today really, really put a cap on that.
I guess for both of you, what's the difference in performances, shooting performances at home versus on the road? I mentioned it a little bit, but obviously if you're more comfortable, what's the difference in just the rims, depth perception?
I don't really know. I know we talked about just that we need to be better on the road in general, and yeah, that has a lot to do with our shooting. So I mean, from the stats, it's really obvious that we shoot better at home. I'm really not sure
I don't know
what it is, but yeah, we definitely need to figure that out when we're on the road, though.
Yeah, I don't really know what it is either, but sorry.
Can you feel it when shots are going in though for everybody on the team? All those 3-pointers just missed them?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as shots are falling like that, it's easy to get a lot of energy on defense, which is why, he said that our pressure our full court pressure on defense in the first half was really good. And I mean, it helps when we're hitting shots, because when we're not hitting shots, then you're not as energized. But then you need to be better in other parts of the game, and it's kind of a domino effect.
I know from the box score, it feels like you two were the stars. How big was in the second quarter, Jalen and Andre's stretch there that kind of helped you build a pretty substantial lead going into halftime?
I mean, yeah, they played really great today. I feel like as just overall our whole entire team played awesome. Not looking at the stats, just how well we clicked, and those two definitely at that time were pushing us forward. And yeah, I think everyone played really well today.
To have that, I guess, one game remaining till conference play, when things maybe haven't clicked on that level, kind of confidence boost does it give going forward?
It gives us a lot of confidence, but we really need to get a road win before we head into conference, because that'll help even more. And just before Christmas break, it'd be a huge game to get.
And I guess, go ahead.
You've beaten these guys since you were a freshman. I guess from a personal standpoint, how good does it feel to go out with kind of booking your career wins over Nebraska?
It was nice to start as a Blue State, and it's nice to end as a Blue State, so I'm just going to keep it at that.
Any more players? Questions from players?
Yeah, looking back to you last year, I guess, you missed this game, you go through a tough patch, I imagine, emotionally, Is there some validation in a night like tonight?
I mean, yeah, but this team, we've changed. Our team has changed a lot since I've been even a freshman, completely. Me and Brie are the only ones that are left, really. And now we have a deep lineup that can score. Anyone can score like that. So it's just really nice. We do a really good job at picking each other up, and having a night like tonight and knowing your teammates are happy for you, but you're happy for them on their night, it just makes everything so much better. And to get a win against Nebraska, it was great. Couldn't ask for something better right now.
I guess, Sydney, how does hitting the first two shots that you take, how much does that change, your mindset for a game, just maybe helping you get out to a good start offensively, feel more comfortable? Is there anything to
I mean, it definitely feels good just because I feel like the past like year in these games I haven't been shooting the best, and so it just feels good like finally seeing a shot go in and just actually like hitting layups and making layups instead of just relying on the three.
One more. All right.
Cool. Good job.
Fire away for Flan.
I guess, Jess, we see 22-11 from Shepard, but she needed 31 shots to get it. I mean, how, Flan, were you trying to make her a volume scorer today? Did you want her to get that many looks? Or?
We had two philosophies. One was to kind of dig and crowd a little, and then another was to basically fully trap her. We didn't do that a lot. We did just a little bit in the second half, but our biggest thing was just push her right. I just think she's a lot better player going left, which is obviously kind of unusual for a left-handed player. But even the step back three she made at the end of the half was going left. So it's just, I thought when we didn't bail her out and foul her going right, I think she just has a harder time getting her shoulder square and finishing. And I thought they posted her more in the second half. They got her on the block, but it seemed like she was out on the perimeter a little bit more in the first half. We were prepared to kind of go either way, kind of sell out a little bit more or just play her straight up. And we felt like, I felt like they need her enough to score that, and part of it was the pace of game. Like we wanted her to get tired, so if she misses some shots that maybe she doesn't make. I think teams have sped them up. I mean, they've turned the ball over a decent amount. So we're not a pressing team, but we were more committed to pressing and trying to speed them up based on, like I said, the inexperience of their guards. But then the byproduct of that is to make Jess have to run the floor both directions. I mean, that's why we tried to sub posts reasonably frequently so we could. Bree's not going to beat her down the floor, but just to take away her legs and because of the pace of the game, because they need her. They need her to play. And then they need her to. They need her to play high minutes, and then they need her to score.
Second quarter, seemed like just about everything you threw up went in there for about a 5 or 6 minute stretch. How big was that to get a more comfortable lead going into halftime?
Yeah, that was huge. I thought, Jalen, you look at, she was 1 for 6, and you don't think she impacted the game, but Matt's question, I thought that was the turning point in the game was the couple plays she made, and then Audrey making some shots, and Audrey. It was good to see her make shots because I thought she really had a tough first quarter. She dropped a couple soft turnovers and missed a couple shots, and she's been battling that. To her credit, she has not felt well recently, and I think it's kind of reflected in her play. And she didn't get off to a good start, so it was great that she got going there because we need her to. Just like we need Marissa to play and shoot the ball with the confidence she shot with today, we need Audrey to do the same thing. And we've been begging Marissa to shoot the ball more in practice and in games. I mean, she's too good a shooter to pass up the shots that she's passed up in both practices and games. And Audrey, not so much in practice, but I just feel like like I said, she hasn't felt great, so she hasn't practiced as well. She was our best player. Audrey was our best player in October and early November, and she's kind of been battling some issues, but I thought it was good to see her get going today too. But Jalen's coming. I mean, Jalen played really well at Northern Iowa last weekend, and she just, she can do some things athletically that some of our other kids cannot.
I guess Marissa's not going to hit 7 threes every time, but how valuable is it to have a game on film where she can see herself shooting as many times as she did, and how it affects your offense when they're going in when it's in the
I've pleaded with her, to be more shot ready. I mean, it's a simple thing, but she averaged 19 a game as a sophomore, and there's too many times in practice where she'll catch it straight up and down, not knees bent, not looking at the basket, and she's got to, I've had conversations with her, and hopefully, today hitting 7 of them. Now it's like, okay, now I've seen what I can do when I do look at the basket every time versus, every other time or every third time. So I think hopefully it's big because we need her to score more.
Marissa mentioned, how she wants to see this carry over to the road now and get a road win. How
Yeah.
big would that be going into conference play?
Yeah, it's getting a road win would be, we haven't, we almost got one last week. We had a shot at the buzzer to win one, and we've been competitive. We haven't lost a game by more than 9 points, but and I feel like defensively we've kind of traveled with our defense, but we have not traveled with our offense. And they say defense travel. If you can be a good team if defense travels, I feel like part of it is we're an older team, but we have not played with as much confidence on the offensive end on the road. And that's typical, but it still is frustrating that we're now 9 games in and we still are in search of that. So it's big, and then we open with 2 at home. So we got to win one and then come back and get it started off right in the league.
It's played up more on the men's side of things, but how gratifying is it for you to outscore your in-state rivals by 50?
By 50.
UNO,
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I mean, I first of all, I like that we're playing UNO now, and I think that so that's a good thing, and but I mean, not to disrespect Nebraska, but they're I mean, Amy's doing a good job. Amy and her staff are doing a good job. They're just an inexperienced team. I mean, even their older players are. When I say inexperienced, their older players on the perimeter haven't played as much, so we have enough experience that we expected this game to potentially go the way it did, and that's not going to mean anything next year, but I do think it was, it's. Somebody asked me the other day how many of our players were recruited by both Nebraska and us, and I don't know of one of our kids. I mean, we've recruited some of the kids that went there, but I don't know if we have one kid on our team that was recruited by Nebraska. So, and sometimes you like that because I think sometimes in-state kids put more pressure on themselves to play well against Nebraska. Like when we played in Lincoln last year, I thought Lauren played really nervous being in her, she played really nervous. So Bree doesn't get nervous, but or at least she doesn't show it. But so anyway, I think it's a rivalry, but I don't, I mean, Connie was a super good friend of mine, so it's not. I've never tried to make it more than just a game. I think that's been and I personally like Amy and her staff, so it's not. There's nothing that goes beyond just it being one game to me, and I think our players kind of feel that way because it's not. Like I said, we have, we don't have that many, we don't have as many, 6-7 years ago, we had an all-Nebraska starting lineup. We don't have that anymore.
Anything further for Flame?
Thanks, you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.